All right. Welcome, everybody, to day 21 of the Secrets of Powerhouse Entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for joining me for this entire journey. If you've made it this far, you guys are amazing. I absolutely commend your endurance and your strength to come all this way with me. It's been full of such powerful, potent conversations every step of the way. And I feel like we've got a really, truly amazing foundation for you guys to go and create movements, to make impact, and to really share your message in a really powerful way with the world. Today is a very special day for me. One, it's the last day. And two, I have a really incredible person joining with me. This is my friend, my mentor, one of the greatest teachers for me in my life, Daniel Rechnitzer. And Daniel is here today to answer our questions from the universe, which I think is the most amazing way that we could end this summit together. So join me in welcoming Daniel. Thank you for being here.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Tamara. What a beautiful, warm, loving welcome. Thank you so much. It really is a pleasure to be here. And, the universe has a lot to say. The universe wants to bring truth and wants to bring momentum to everyone's movements here. And I'm excited to share what's coming through.
Yeah, awesome. So I see a lot of people on here who know you, but there's a few people on here who don't. So Daniel, where did this all start for you?
Well, look, it goes way back. This has been going on for many, many years, to the point where I grew up feeling, something's not quite right in the world. The world that I saw out there and what I felt on the inside, there was always this mismatch. And I was so drawn to nature and Mother Earth and the stars. And I felt so connected to that the more I embraced that reality rather than society's reality and the way everyone else was living, that intelligence of the universe became, I guess, available to me, started to talk to me. So I've been talking or accessing the universe's intelligence for over 20 years. It started when I was a teenager, but very sporadic, and grew very strong in my 20s. And it's been where I go to for all my answers, guidance, if I have health issues. And it's really been the foundation for all the training at Intuition Wisdom. So it's just been this incredible life's journey. And I know it's been going on for many, many other lifetimes as well. And my purpose in life, the movement that Sonia and I are creating, is that we have this available to us, that there is a brain beyond our own, an intelligence beyond our own that wants to feed us incredible insights and knowledge and have us see ourselves as so much more. So it's what we're here to do today.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing. And so for you, you had this gift, but describe that moment where you realized it was a real gift and that you actually had to start sharing your gift.
Well, there wasn't any one moment. There was a series of pain after pain after pain after suffering after hardship after everything not working, that you hit a point where your idea of the world, your vision, your goals, your ambitions is clearly not working for you. And you have to come to that realization of everything I imagined, everything that I imagined I should be, shit, this is not working. And it was really a culmination of a lot of those pain points where you go, all right, I'm ready to listen. Because my life was always this tug of war between, no, I want to go off in the ambitious path. I want to follow in the footsteps of others. I want to be like everyone else. And while that was going on, there was this beautiful, gentle whisper going, but why? Why would you do that? Why would you hurt yourself? And why would you torture yourself when you've got beautiful, gentle path in front of you? So, it took a lot of punches and bruises before I went, all right, I'm happy to walk the gentle path. And that's been an ongoing, an ongoing journey.
Yes. Yeah, I can relate actually. I think it was a series of punches and series of pain that led me to studying with you actually.
Yeah, yeah.
And realizing those gifts and realizing that that was my way forward. That was the gentle path forward. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to reach a place where we're willing to let go of the pain and we're willing to stop the fight, and
Mm.
life becomes so much better for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And so where did you start your, the business element of this? Because it has become quite an amazing movement and an amazing organization. But where did that start for you?
Well, it was just around the time that I met Sonia. I was stepping out of my previous world, which was marketing and creativity. I had this natural ability, and I didn't really know where it was coming from at the time, or I didn't really appreciate the enormity of where it was coming from, I should say, where people in small business and large businesses would get consulting from me, and I would just have ideas and strategies. They would just come to me.
Mm.
It was just so natural for me. Um, but over time, I felt I didn't want to just do that in business. It just felt a bit hollow and empty for me. So I wanted to sell that, move on. And that's when Sonia and I met. And then she went, whoa, what is this stuff that you're doing? How can you do this? How can you have this creativity on tap? It was so foreign to her, and I hadn't stopped to appreciate it. And when we got together and started sharing and talking about these things, we went, hey, we've got to teach this to the world, this limitless genius creativity that's available to everyone. How do we make that available to everyone? So it really began when Sonia and I got together. That was in 2008. We actually launched Universal Intelligence. That was official year of launch.
Yeah, amazing. And that's taken you guys, you went to America for a while and you did lots of seminars and events and those kinds of things.
One of the big things for me was to put some of this down in writing, and that was the birth of the book, The All-Knowing Diary. And that was really about sitting down under a tree in a park and just channeling, writing 3 hours a day of what the universe wanted to say to the world, and specifically to me. And so that became the All-Knowing Diary, where we got to look at how our beliefs are shaping our world, our beliefs are shaping our health, that is an intelligence beyond our own that we're meant to be accessing. And so we went over to the USA to teach what was the All-Knowing, how to live that. And they were very familiar with consciousness as a concept and intuition, but they didn't know how to access it. So we were very well received over there, and we spent about 2 years traveling around the US. And then we decided to come home and go larger and take it to Europe and be open to other countries around the world.
Yeah. And where do you think you might go after COVID restrictions are?
It's a very good question. We've got some very big plans for next year. I've been working on a retreat that was meant to happen during COVID, called Enlightenment in 7 Days. And because we didn't get to take that anywhere, that's just been growing and being nurtured. And so we're going to launch that next year. It is this incredible program, really about 4 or 5 years in the making, about stripping everyone down, stripping everyone's beliefs down. Reminded me of our conversation just before we got on. I got sidetracked. Really about stripping people down from who they see themselves to being their enlightened self. So it really is about enlightenment done for you. So I think that's the big thing. Where we're going to take that, we'll see.
Yeah, amazing. You might end up doing it in Australia after all.
Yeah, most likely.
Fantastic. And all right, we've got some really big questions today. Is there anything that we feel like we need to say before we go into these questions for those who are watching? Do you want to kind of pre-frame what it is that you are doing and how you're connecting and those kinds of things?
Sure. Over the years, I've learned how to bypass my own mind, my own opinions, my own thoughts, and my own knowledge. So I've never really read books or studied spiritual concepts or physics or any of these things. Because I grew up feeling I was never smart enough, I never really bothered to nurture that. So I've kind of learned how to move beyond the mind and just connect to what we call universal intelligence, to get the answers directly from that space. So whatever you ask me, it's kind of almost like the person that Daniel once was steps aside and allows the answers to come through. So over all this clearing and all this work, the Daniel that once was, his identity is very, very, very faint in the background. So it's much easier to get these answers than it used to be. But that's what I'm going to do today for everyone, is really go into that beautiful space where all the answers are. That is available to everyone, and let's see what comes up.
Amazing. All right. So our first question to the universe is, what does the universe have to say about us creating a movement, creating this momentum through our life purpose business?
Okay. The first message that comes through is that there's a bit of a misunderstanding about life purpose business, and it wants to really solidify that for everyone. And that is that life purpose, or our life purpose, isn't about other people. We always think life purpose, oh, that's me being of service, and that's what I give to others, and that's what I'm creating for others. Universe wants to say, no. Sorry, you got it all wrong. It isn't about other people. The life purpose is about giving to yourself in the most abundant and full way possible. And the universe recognizes, it knows this intrinsically, for it to grow, for it to experience joy and love, the way forward is to put itself first. So life purpose is about giving to yourself. And what's absolutely critical about that is we have to be open to receive. If we are to create a movement, we first must recognize, I am the movement. The movement must happen within me first before it can happen out there in the world. As we're changing the inner reality, we're going to change our outer reality. So life purpose, actually, we don't set about what do we want to change out there. We've got to realize, what do I want to give to myself, and how big do I want to give to myself? And really important question is, am I willing to receive? I'm going to start out this journey. Am I going to be able to receive? Because here we are embarking on this journey of giving, but if we're not ready to receive, we're not going to create any momentum. We're just going to come up against a brick wall. We want to create big things. Well, you've got to be open to receive. So that's the first message that comes through. The next big thing that I'm feeling to share is that everything has to come from be in alignment with that, and to do it has to come from a space of self-love. We have this tendency to self-sacrifice, to put everyone else first, to work hard for someday in the future we'll get a reward or some kind of payoff. The universe is saying, clearly that's not working. We have to give to ourselves first and ensure that the space that we're coming from, the beingness that we're in, is self-love. So before we start an activity, before we start planning this movement, or even coming to understand what our movement looks like, we have to ask ourselves this question. We have to check in. Or am I coming from, I need to be impressive, I need to respect, I want to be successful, I want to feel successful, I want to be the one who changes the world, I want to be the one that everyone looks up to? Because that's coming from a space of self-doubt. And if we come from a space of self-doubt, we're going to create experiences that are going to fill us with more doubt. They're going to reinforce that doubt. So it's very important that how we come into this space is pretty much how we want to leave this space. If we want to leave feeling amazing and fulfilled and that we've done something incredible, we've actually got to start feeling amazing and incredible right from the beginning. And the most powerful place to create that from is self-love. So if you're sitting here going, yeah, I want to create a movement because I want to be a hero, I want to be respected, and I want to actually like myself finally, and I want to stop seeing myself as a failure, it's not going to work. We need to get into that higher frequency space. When we're in that higher frequency space, we start attracting higher frequency ideas. We start attracting higher frequency decisions, higher frequency people, higher frequency opportunities. And that's how movements are created. So as wonderful as creating a movement sounds, there's a lot of ego that can step into that, right? A lot of, oh, that sounds good. That's going to make me feel really good about myself. The catch to all of this is you've got to start feeling really good about yourself before you start this movement, before this journey even begins.
Can I just say goodbye to everybody on Facebook before we go any further? Thanks for joining, guys. Click on the link to join the full conversation. Bye. All right, go.
All right, so there's some more coming through. Do you want me to pause and talk about anything? You're happy for me just to go through what's there? We can talk after that.
Yeah, I'm taking notes and I've got a few things underlined that I want to cover back. So you just keep going.
Just keep going. All right, beautiful. Yeah. The next thing the universe wants to share is be really clear on what is your gift. What are you bringing? And what are the parameters of that gift? And there are several reasons why that's so important. We live in a world of comparison. We look at what Daniel's doing, what Tamara's doing, what Eckhart Tolle's doing, what Anthony Robbins is doing, what my next door neighbor's doing. And it's very easy to get swept up into, I should be like them. I should be like that person. I should do more of what they're doing. And the universe is saying, no, 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 no. That is the surest path to failure and unfulfillment ever. The way to create shift is to walk your own path. Anyone you've ever seen out there who is doing something inspirational, who's creating shift, never achieved that, never got there by following in the footsteps of others. They got there by realizing, what am I here to bring? What is my message? What is my truth? And I'm going to stand firm in that. Blinkers on. I don't care what anyone else is doing. I'm not going to compare. I'm going to stay true to myself. And it's really tempting when everyone's on social media or YouTube to see what everyone else is doing. And I'm very deliberate. I don't read other people's books. People try and send them to me. I don't watch other people's videos. I'm very deliberate because I've got direct connection to the universe. I don't have a need to access other people's information. I don't want other people's information. I get it straight from the source. So the universe wants to be very clear, wants everyone to be very clear on what is your gift. And don't try and make it more than what it is. What it is already perfect. Don't try and make it less than what it is. What it is perfect. It could be something as simple as you give people hope. You have people see what makes them extraordinary. You have this ability to make people giggle. It doesn't have to be huge and highfalutin. It could be very, very simple. It could be having parents feel that they're amazing at their job. It doesn't matter. Don't overinflate it because you feel you need to compensate, and don't underinflate it so you're cutting yourself down. So keeping us really walking a tight path. And the universe is saying the energies are quickening so fast now that we don't really have the luxury of bouncing off our path like it is. We have to be very disciplined and walk a very tight path. Otherwise, we're going to get bumped and bruised along the way, and we could very easily get knocked off our path. There's a lot more, as consciousness and light grows and we become more enlightened, the ego wants to have a bigger go at everyone. So we've really got to be true to what our path is and stick to the parameters of that gift. we have to be very clear on what our boundaries are in creating this movement. What are we prepared to do? What are we not prepared to do, from the space of what is self-loving, what isn't self-loving. We can get very easily taken off course and overwork, get stressed, and then we all find ourselves putting ourselves last again. The name of this game is very simple. It's to give to yourself. So if you're finding creating a movement is no longer giving to you, you need to come back into your truth. Just see where you're at. Where are things coming out of balance? Where are you not in truth? All right, I think feels like a couple of more concluding points on this one, and then we can go into questions. The next one is very much recognizing that creating this movement, that the underlying purpose behind that is all about going deeper within yourself. We might think the purpose is to save the trees. We might think the purpose is to save the animals or to feed the starving, whatever it might be. But that's just a byproduct. We have to see those outcomes as a byproduct of giving to ourselves. So the journey, the purpose of the journey is to go deeper within yourself, to experience more, to see yourself as more, to experience more self-love, and to create greater enlightenment within yourself. That is the purpose of the movement. Always got to keep that clear in mind. And then all the outcomes that we hope or desire will be a byproduct of that. And it really is this I guess, this final point of a movement out there happens because of the movement in here. The whole talk, this whole event is about creating a movement, creating a shift. Well, that movement begins inside us. So we have to look at how willing are we to create a shift within ourselves? How open are we to create a shift in what we're able to receive? Because that is what creates the ripples across the world. The ripples we create in ourselves creates a ripple through the world. Are we open to making the deepest, biggest possible shift within ourselves? If you are, then you are ready for this movement.
Amazing. And so that ties in. One of the things that I really underlined there is, how do we open to receive deeper? You know, that feels like a really big one for myself, but also for everyone on this call.
Yeah, it is a huge one. So let's just, if you're open, let's use you as an example.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because this is the beautiful thing. When you're able to tap into the universe, we don't need to talk generally. We can look at the specifics of what would have Tamara be open, because I feel if we can go there, that will be relevant to a lot of people watching and listening as well. So if we go, we're just going to work within Tamara's subconscious mind. And that's the beauty of the work we do at Intuition and Wisdom. We can go deep within what's happening in somebody's head. And we look at what's in the way of receiving. And the first blockage that I see inside Tamara is, yeah, but I haven't got everything right yet. Right? I haven't got it all right yet. And many of us are raised with these beliefs that we need to be perfect, or we need to be saints, or we need to achieve certain things in order to get it right, or in order to receive love. So that's what we call a belief, and the mind is completely filled with them, and they're our source of our blockages. So Tamara's one there is, I haven't got everything right yet. So the way we heal this is we work with the energy of truth. We work with truth. Truth heals the subconscious mind. And we're just going to go a bit deeper tomorrow. We're going to see, well, what is the truth to help Tamara push through that blockage there? There's several layers to it. It was never your purpose to get things right. Rather, it was for you to see that having a purpose is what's right. It's not about doing what's right. It's about recognizing or realizing I have a purpose here. And that is the most right thing a human being can do. To recognize you have a purpose was the only right thing you needed to do in this lifetime. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
We set ourselves all these lofty goals, or being a great mom, or achieving all these things. The way the universe sees it is we made all that shit up. That's been passed down from generation to generation. None of that was ever based in truth. What is truth is having a purpose is what's right. And what's even more is recognizing that you have one. And because in that you get to see your deeper meaning, you get to see that you matter, you get to see that the universe respects you, you get to see how important you are. And that's what's right. Yeah, so just let that sink in a little bit. I want to see what else you're kind of fighting that one a little bit. So let's just see what else we can do to go a bit deeper there.
Yeah.
The next one that shows up is, yeah, but the world doesn't see me as right. The world doesn't see me that I've accomplished enough, I've achieved enough to really receive it. So I'm waiting for permission from others. And that's so common. I mean, the number of us that are out there waiting for our parents to give us permission, our school teachers, our friends, our peers, society, science, opinion leaders, we're waiting for the world to say it's okay for us to receive. And it's again, all these societal belief systems that keep us trapped from receiving and from growing. So we go a bit deeper here. We'll see if you're open to some truth. All right, so the next big truth to realize is that it wasn't permission from others that you were really looking for. It was permission to be free from needing to be anything like others. As a child, we're raised, be like this person, be like that person, but inside there's this fight going, can I please not have to be like anyone else? Can I please not need to be like them? So the permission that you've actually been seeking is it right? Is it okay that I'm nothing like any other human being on this planet? Can you feel that?
Yes.
Is it all right that I'm whatever I want to be, whatever's inside of me, whatever calls to me, whatever speaks to me? Can I be so different that the world stands there in shock? Can I be so amazing that everyone is gobsmacked, floored, and has to rethink their life because I'm standing in my truth? Is that okay? Is that okay that I'm like that? That's the permission you've been asking for. And of course, the truth is, who cares what anyone thinks? You be you. You be like that because that's your purpose. And you get to see, we look at purpose and we look at true self, they're all the same thing. It's the same energy. When you look at how you want to be your purpose. That purpose is your essence. It's not like people think, oh, I'm a person, I'm a human, I'm a body, I'm a soul, I'm a whatever. You're an idea. Your idea is the purpose of change, of great change. That's Tamara's idea. I'm the energy of great change. And that's why you've been fearing it so much, but so on its heels, so close to it. But it's been so big for you because great change has never been nurtured in you, never been welcomed on this planet. But you are great change. That is your true identity. So do you have permission to be great change? Have permission to be anything else? It's the only thing you have permission to be great change. You get that?
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, that feels awesome. Yeah.
And then once you can feel that and go, yeah, I'm going to change, just letting that in is the biggest receiving you've probably ever let in your life, apart from your children.
Mm.
That is me receiving. And you can start going, this receiving thing feels pretty good. And the more I keep being my purpose, the more I'm receiving, because that's how the universe works. Be your purpose, the more you receive. Be more your purpose, the more you receive.
Mm.
The universe just keeps giving to itself. By being itself, it's giving it to itself. It's this beautiful loop. And that's how you can be open to receiving, being yourself.
Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
So let's jump to Eduardo's question in the chat here. What tangible acts of love may we do to achieve a higher level of self-love? It's a great question, Eduardo.
Mm.
Thank you.
You know what? There's so many answers to that. Everything I've just said to Tamara, in being able to allow yourself to deviate from the societal norm, is one of the greatest acts of love you can do. Being able to go, this is how society sees things. This is how society does things, but I'm not going to do it that way. Being able to walk in nature and just run your hand down a branch and just feel this energy, talk to it, share love with this, is again, you giving to yourself. Anything natural, anything born from truth is going to be connecting to that, is going to be an act of self-love. Animals, nature, children, allowing yourself the time to give to yourself. Like, there's so many times, oh, I should be working, I should be exercising more, I should be going to my family function, I should attend this event, and all these things where you just feel, I don't want to do that. So don't. Give to yourself. I had this this breakthrough this week for myself, which was, my whole life has been spent, I only nurture myself if I'm sick. You know, your parents only give you attention when you're sick as you're growing up. It's the only time you get love, is when you're sick. Otherwise, go to school, do your homework, run around the block, do your chores. So they teach us to only look after ourselves when we're unwell. So the only time I would look after myself was when I was unwell. And I got to the realization of, you know what, I'm not going to wait till I get sick this time. I'm actually going to have a day off today. I'm actually not going to do anything today. I'm not going to push myself today. All these things about caring for yourself and putting yourself first instead of what you think everyone expects of you are all huge acts of self-love. I mean, we could do a 21-day seminar on that question. It's such a big question. But that gives you some good insights.
Amazing. And so I just want to encourage you guys, if you do have questions, pop them in the chat and we will answer them. There's one from Naringa. Is it a question? So thank you.
You're welcome. I just read
it. So what are the types of blockages that hold us back from gaining momentum in our movement?
Yeah, it's a really big question. Really important one. What I'm going to do tomorrow, if you're happy for me to do this, I'm going to just tap into everyone who's listening today and bring up what everyone's specific blockages are, not necessarily by name, but just generally, because it applies to everyone. So I'll just take everyone through what these key blockages are, and I'll try and give some insights as we go along. Okay, give me 1 sec. All right, everyone be open.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. Let's have a look. Okay, first block, I'm just going to list them, okay? First blockage is, what will people think of me? That's a huge one. If you want to jot them down, if we have time, we can kind of address some of them, but I'm just going to list what will people think of me? The next one is, I always expect myself to fail, so why will this be any different? The next one is, what difference can I make on this world? It's so fucked up. What possibly can I do? Whose is that one? I'd love you to own up to that one. That'd be great. Weren't my words.
Yeah.
Is that you, Tamara?
I can definitely relate.
Yeah, very good. The next blockage that you guys are holding is, everything takes so long. We need change yesterday. What's the point of starting now? It's going to be 6 years before I make a dent. What's the point? Okay, next big blockage is, you need money. You need money to create a movement. You need money to create websites. You need money to create changes. It's a catch-22. I need to create a movement to make money, but I need money to make a movement. I'm stuck. What the hell am I going to do? Next big blockage for everyone in our group today is, let me have a look. I don't even know where to start. Where do I even begin? I don't know what makes me special. I don't know what makes me important. Therefore, why is anyone going to listen to me? Why are they going to think I'm important? I don't even know what makes me important. Why should they listen? Why would they follow my footsteps? And I don't know what if I'm doing either. I'll just see if there's any more, and then we might come back to the others. It's just this, again, every time I lift a finger, I fail, I screw up, I disappoint others. I'm going to end up disappointing myself. And I'm going to realize I should never have done this. Who the hell do I think I am in the first place? We could go on a little bit more, but I think they're some of the biggest ones. If anyone's giving you feedback, if they kind of hit the mark, we can kind of stop there, unless there's a few deeper ones though.
Yeah, it feels like
the urban lives.
Failure is a big one. Like, there
Yep.
seems like a few that's, fear around failure and a bit of overwhelm.
Yeah. And of course, when will I have time for all of this? How can I've got children, I've got a husband, I've got this, I've got that. When can I possibly have time to create a movement? Let's go with that group and let's see if we can bring a little bit of truth to those. If you want to do that. Do we have time for that?
Yeah. Pretty
All
sure
right.
everyone will stay on for as long as you, Daniel.
All right, beautiful. Do you want to take me through, do you have them on your list? So I've got a few hanging in my memory there, but...
Yeah, so I always expect myself to fail. So why will this be any different?
I love that, because it's so ironic. The reason we've always failed in life, and we haven't always, but the reason we have memories and experiences of failure is because we've always been attempting to live through somebody else's eyes, to walk in somebody else's shoes, to do what everyone else does in this world, to believe in others more than we believe in ourselves, to look up to people more than we look up to ourselves. When we live as society lives, we will fail dismally, because society is not in truth. And the more we try and appeal to society and get recognition, respect, and follow the way others, that path of society, we will experience failure. And when you look back at your life and you look back at pretty much every experience of failure that you've had, it's to do with because you were trying to impress someone, you were trying to get validation from someone, because you were trying to do something that you thought would make you successful. Everything was coming from, I'm not enough already, so I need to do something else. If we start from I'm a failure, we will create failures in life. So in nearly 100% of the cases, with everyone listening, at least it feels like 99% to be more precise, we've never come from the space of, wow, if I trust in myself, do my purpose, then I won't fail. You cannot. It is a physical, spiritual, etheric, everything impossibility in your life purpose. Because the very fact of recognizing and walking the path of your life purpose is success right from the beginning. And if we create that moment of success at the start, that means we are already successful before we've even done anything. And if we are in a space of success, then guess what the outcomes are going to be? They cannot help but be successful outcomes. So yes, we've experienced failure in the past. And yes, we can continue to expect failure as long as we follow others. But whilst we're being our true self of our purpose, that in itself immediately rules out failure. You cannot fail, it's gone. Failure is out of the equation now. And that was the big message to Tamara, is what's getting things right in life is seeing your purpose and walking it. It doesn't matter what you do after that. It doesn't matter whether you fall off the planet after that. That is right. That is mission accomplished.
Beautiful, beautiful. And the next one was about, you know, in a nutshell, the world is in such a damaged place. How can I possibly make any difference?
Yeah. And no offense to all of us that think those kind of things, and believe me, I have those thoughts come in and out. That's exactly the thinking that creates this such a damaged place. When we start to see its beauty, when we start to see that it's still alive, then we can create amazing things. And it reminds me of the whales. We have whales that come up and down in the ocean here along the coast of Australia. And back in the 70s, we were down to about 4,000 whales because they were being slaughtered and all these horrible things. Today, we're up at around 36, 37,000 whales that migrate up and down, or not migrate, they give birth and they come back down. That, to me, when I heard that, I was like, there is great things happening on the earth. And we need to, instead of focusing on all the crap and all the shit things, we need to put our awareness on the great things, because that's how things expand. When we're focused on what's great, more greatness can come of it. It's the same within ourselves. We were taught, let's focus on our weaknesses. You know, always thought, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? I'm sorry, the universe goes, F your weaknesses. They're not relevant. What we do to expand and to grow, we focus on what our greatness is, what our strength is. And by doing that, things get bigger. So we can say things are screwed up, but then we're just being part of the problem. And I look out my window and I see a beautiful ocean and I see trees and I see birds and I see nothing screwed up over there. Nothing out this window is screwed up whatsoever. So really, where are we going to put our focus? Are we going to put our focus on what's happening in the USA or whatever part of the world? Are we going to put our focus on where there is love, where there is truth? Because that's how we magnify it and that's how it expands in this world.
Beautiful. And the third one there was, I don't have time. I'm a mother, I'm a father, I'm, have
okay. Well, the universe says, the universe, the response to that is time runs out in life, not because we should all die by 80 or we should all get sick. Time runs out because we're not on purpose. We get sick because we're not on purpose. We get sick because we delay our purpose, because we prioritize jobs that we hate, partners that we're not in love with anymore, or that came from fear. Because we put ourselves last, we run out of time. So if you say, I don't have time, the universe is saying, well, that is true. You will run out of time if you do not start living your purpose. So the way to create an abundance of time and space in your life is to start going, I'm going to stop everything that hurts me now. I'm going to take this first step in awakening to my life purpose. And, the beautiful thing, Tamara, as you know, we've got on our website, we're doing free 15-minute intuitive sessions where people can learn what their life purpose is. And you're doing incredible coaching where people get fully on their life purpose path too. So it is the universe. This is the one thing the universe cannot do for you. It says, I will give you everything, all the support, all the knowledge, all the wisdom there is, but you have to let it in. You have to make that decision to take that first step. And whether it's picking up a book like the All-Knowing Diary or booking a free session for your life purpose, I mean, we've made it easy. We've made it easy to take the first step. You've got to take it. And the minute you do take that first step, the universe goes, boom, baby, we're in. Now we can start supporting you. But until you're willing to support yourself, the universe is like, I'm waiting. Whenever you're ready, I'm going to be here this lifetime, next lifetime, whatever it takes. But you need to make that first step. And it's just this very small decision of, I'm willing to let go of the pain and suffering in my life because I deserve more. I'm worth more. I'm worth my purpose, and I'm worth being my purpose, because it hurts being a human being, but it stops hurting when you see yourself for everything that you are, which is your purpose.
Fantastic. Thank you. I just want to throw in my story there is when I first read the All-Knowing Diary, I was living in a studio apartment with my 5-year-old and my 1-year-old, and I was in a pretty stuck space. And a girlfriend of mine had just done one of your trainings, and she said to me, read this book, let me know what you think, and maybe we'll do a couple of sessions afterwards. And I had nothing to lose, obviously, and plenty of time. So I read the All-Knowing Diary, and I think I pretty much sat there for, as many hours as I possibly could while the kids, I took it to the park, I took it to the beach, and I just read it, and I consumed it, and I integrated it. And I spent the next 6 weeks just feeling that self-love bubble around me. That's all I focused on, was the self-love bubble, and just allowing my life to unfold. And within 6 weeks, we'd been given a new house to live in, like a 1-bedroom house, and we didn't have to go through the application process and compete against 20 other people to get the house. And it was literally across the street. So we'd been given a new house. I literally got given $5,000 for a new car because my car was looked like it had been through the wars. Dings on every side, and I approached you guys and got a job.
I remember.
Which was my dream job.
All of those steps, and I remember the new house. I remember that.
Yeah, and it all out like 6 weeks of just sitting in that self-love bubble, and then within a week, boom, 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 and then it was just, and my life has just really beautifully expanded at I like to call it nice and slowly. It's like my comfort, it's just comfortably expanding in this fulfilling kind of joyful way, and it's been an incredible, I think it's been longer than 2 years now. So like 2.5 years, nearly 3.
That's pretty quick. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. I mean, we see it all the time. I was listening to a call Sonia was on yesterday with someone who wanted to do the training, and she was just throwing every excuse under the sun. I know I can't afford $99 to connect to my higher self. I've just got kids and I'm abandoned from my husband. I can't do anything now. And I'm there kind of weeping in a sense, going, well, the book, it's $20, it's to $25. You've got to do something. The universe is saying, if you're not prepared to make that, just even that tiny stretch, then you will stay in that space. And it's not out of compassion that I'm saying, it's out of compassion that I'm saying, please just give yourself something, make one tiny step. And when we first started our courses, some of our courses were like $3,000, and we didn't have the All-Knowing Diary, and we didn't have, our free life purpose session. 10 years ago, we didn't have those things. So things were prohibitive for some people. But now everything's accessible. Making that first step is so accessible. So the universe is saying, go on, what are you waiting for?
Yeah, absolutely. So Daniel, is there anything left on your heart, anything left that you want to really share with these guys around creating their movement, making the impact that they are here to make, those kinds of things?
Yeah, a few things are coming up. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be impatient, because there's this transition phase. If you understand your life right now is a product of all the seeds you've planted so far, all the beliefs you've been carrying around your whole life, all the self-doubt, negativity, questioning yourself. Your life is a byproduct of everything that you believe about yourself in this moment. we're all experiencing. Now, as you take the next step and you learn to clear these beliefs, whether it's through our training or the Mind Lies book or All-Knowing Diary, things start expanding and opening up and shifting. But there's still a lag. There's still everything I've created from the past coming into the present and everything I'm creating. So the ego, the mind starts going, oh, it's not, it's too slow or it's not working. It's not what's happening at all. It's all working, but we've created 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, 40 years. We've been creating a reality. And there is going to be this lag effect of before we open to a new reality. So as you start clearing your inner reality, clearing the belief systems, getting to the truth of who you are, that lag starts dissipating and you kind of create more distance from it. And then more things show up. Like tomorrow, it was the house that showed up, and then it was the money that showed up, and then it was the job that showed up, and then it was the new partner that showed up. Like tomorrow, I could list the whole timeline of all these things that she's been able to create. So really important message, don't worry about the time. The timing is all perfect. You're not falling behind. Every time someone opens their life purpose is exactly perfect and what's needed when it's needed. You're not letting the universe down. The universe is very patient and it's all happening perfectly. And the next message that I was feeling to share with everyone there is, don't look to others to validate that you're on the right path, because you won't get it. If you're looking to your brother, your mother, your sister, your ex-wife, your ex-husband, or people that aren't on that path, please don't look for validation. They're looking for validation that they're on the right path. So just look for people who are, it's like you guys finally finding the map of where you're meant to go in life and going up to somebody in the street who's completely bewildered and lost and confused and has no idea where they are, going, can you validate that I'm on the right track? Like, well, they're lost. They don't even have a map. They got no GPS. So really important that this is really a solo path. And that's part of the, I'm just being shown, it's like a muscle. Living your life purpose is like strengthening a muscle. If you keep looking outside of yourself and what everyone else is doing for validation, you're not exercising the muscle. If you go, I'm on the right path, I'm trusting myself, I'm going to keep moving, I'm going to keep my blinkers on, it's strengthening the muscle. And the stronger the muscle, the more the intuition flows, the higher the connection becomes, and the more resilient you become. And that's really the journey I was talking about. My journey at the beginning was, oh, I need to be like everyone else. Oh, maybe I only need to be a little bit like everyone else. Maybe only this much, only this much. And unless you need to be in society, the stronger that path becomes to the fact that you become your own source of validation. The universe starts talking through you. It starts telling you, bang on, keep going, ignore that, keep going. So there's some two really important messages to share for today, and just keep believing in yourself and knowing you're enough. Your greatness is enough.
Amazing. Thank you. And Daniel, we're almost at that hour, so I just want to share to everybody, if you guys want to learn this and you want to learn what Daniel's doing, then go to intuitionwisdom.com. If you're watching the recording, it's going to be the access the gift button below this video. So go to intuitionwisdom.com and see what trainings, there's free trainings, there's free 15-minute sessions, and there's the full suite of, the Institute trainings. So, and if you want to start working on your business in this fashion and you want to start doing this now, then just chat with me and get a free session with me. We'll do a 15-minute, intro, tune in, see what's best for you and your business and where it's got to go. So they're the action steps from today. Go jump into intuitionwisdom.com, book in a session with me, and let's really start taking your life. Let's make some big change for you.
Absolutely. Let's create that movement in you.
Yeah. Yeah, amazing. And Dan, if you're up for it, there's a few questions in the chat box. Do you want to go there?
Oh, yeah. Let's take 10 minutes to answer some of these questions.
Okay. Tsitsi, I'm sorry if I say that wrong. She has a question of what is prayer?
How does the universe see prayer, or what is prayer to you? I'm guessing it's how does the universe see prayer?
Let's go with that.
The way the universe, yeah, let's go there. The universe says people on earth have it all wrong. People on earth have come from prayer being, I don't have the power within me, so I'm going to ask for something greater than me, a power outside of myself to create change and create shifts. That's a fool's prayer. No offense to anyone. That's the universe is saying that is a fool's prayer. The universe is saying true prayer is really an affirmation, an assertion that what my will is, that what my truth is, will be enacted on this planet, will be enacted in this universe, starting in the energetic realm. That is what prayer is. If I assert that this change is meant to happen, and I have that knowing, the conviction, then the universe will respond in kind by mirroring that conviction in multiple realities. That is true prayer.
Awesome. I love
that. Thank you, because I come from the Christian world where we pray and nothing changes. But we read scripture that says things change. And this has just opened it up for me to, oh my goodness, I finally found what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm excited, super excited to know what it is. That is the power within me. And we've been told that it's inside of us.
Yes.
Somehow it got lost in translation. And I'm grateful to have found you and your teaching, because it does open up a lot of doors. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
The power behind prayer, this is absolutely right. I got lost in translation in a big way. The power behind prayer is going, I am the power. I have it in me. I am that power that everyone's putting outside of themselves. I'm not separate from it. I am it. And as I see myself as it, I have ultimate power.
I've been playing with this quite a lot in the last few months, and I just want to share my prayer. It is, and I kind of touched on this the other day. We had a beautiful Christian woman sharing her story and creating her movement. And I shared this, but it's like this energy within me reaches out to my true self life, I guess, and brings it closer. And that is my prayer. It's just like this energy burning up within me, and it's bringing it in. And I just feel it, I feel the magnetic force from within me and within that, and just bringing it in. And then it's like this moment of deep gratitude for that.
Yeah.
And that's my prayer. And I can do that, within a couple of seconds, 100 times a day. It's just, and as that burning, the energy is burning, I feel like that's clearing all the things that's stopping it from happening as well. So it's
I love it. Yeah, that's you using your power. Beautiful.
Yeah, awesome. How to feel worthy to receive?
Who's asking?
Naringa.
Realize that you can't create, enact your purpose until you receive. So if you can see that, the universe is saying, trying to parallel how I'm seeing it into words is all another story in itself. Your purpose is so important, and it's been given to you to bring to this earth. That shows you that you're worthy to receive. If you have a purpose, it means you're worthy to receive. If you didn't have a purpose, you go, yeah, sure, maybe I'm not worthy. So that is worthiness in its true sense. Been given a mouth, which means you're worthy to eat. I can eat. I've been given a mouth. I'm worthy to eat. You are worthy of receiving the simple fact you have a purpose here. And it doesn't matter whether people have an opinion, whether you're worthy or not, because their opinion is really only whether they're worthy or not. So you just got to realize if the universe sees me as worthy enough by giving me a purpose, hey, I'm worthy to receive. That's where we can get to today on that.
Amazing, amazing. And Diane and Tony, I feel like your questions are going to be best answered in a one-on-one with me. So just book in that one-on-one, and because they're about your steps to get started and those kinds of things. And that's if we can go one-on-one for that 20 minutes, it's going to get you really going there. But Dan, do you have anything on? And I feel like it's the perfect last question. It's like, where to from here? What's the number one step for all of those who are listening on how to get started in their movement?
The most important step in this moment is to prioritize yourself. We've discussed through this call that we prioritize whether people like us, whether people respect us, whether we fit in, whether we belong, whether we're getting somewhere in life, whether we're on time, whether we're behind. We prioritize every single thing that we can think of before we prioritize ourselves. And the universe is coming down and saying, that's got to end. And you're going to be looking, you may have already noticed a lot of people are getting very sick at a very young age, more so than ever, cancers and all these kind of things. It's because the body can no longer deal with being put last. Universe is saying, I remember sharing this at one of the other calls that's coming up again. Universe is saying, this is a buy one, get two offer. In the 1950s, in the 60s, if you gave to yourself, then you'll get one back. One for one, one for one, one for one. That was the universe's deal. But now it's saying, if you prioritize yourself first, you start giving to yourself, I'll double it. I'll double it. I'll double what you get back. I'll give you more. I'll give you more. And it's an exciting time. The flip side to that is that the consequences are also doubled. If you don't do that, things are going to hit harder. Things are going to hurt more. So, and it's going to take longer to get back up. So the universe is saying, please, please, please put yourself number one. Make that decision right now while we're talking to each other. I'm now going to prioritize myself. And prioritize yourself means I'm going to be self-loving. Self-loving means I'm all about receiving. I'm all about giving to myself, and feel into what is the perfect way to give to yourself in the most abundant sense. Is it to read the All-Knowing Diary? Is it to have a session with Tamara? Is it to book into the gift that we're giving you guys where you learn how to connect to your higher self? Is it to have a life purpose? Feel into what is the most abundant gift. And I would say the answer would be yes to all the above.
I was about to say that too. All of them.
All of the above. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. All right, let's leave it at that. Go and give yourself all those gifts today, guys. Thank you, Daniel. I am super grateful, and this has been the perfect way to end our 21 days. Bless you all for joining, and stay in touch. Keep the movement going.
Beautiful. Thanks, Tamara. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and I hope to catch up with everyone on the intuition wisdom journey. We'll see you guys soon.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Awesome.
Yeah. Bye.
Also, bye-bye. Thanks. It's fantastic.
You're welcome.
Thank you.